Amy. Thank you so much for joining us and speaking with me today. I just want to say, I can't imagine how this situation is for you and for those that are affected with what is going on. Can you walk me through what your reaction was when you found out the news about Joseph being arrested and subsequently entering a plea of not guilty?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think the first initial shock of just who it was took me, oh, look, I'm still having trouble digesting that
Mhm.
because I was very close to him at a certain time, growing up and filming and all the things. And so I cannot imagine him behind bars. I can't imagine him hurting a little girl. It's really hard to really realize who it is. But when I realized that he said that he was guilty and then he's taking back his statement and saying that he's not guilty, I feel like that is him trying to minimize the situation and the crime. And I want justice to be served.
Mhm. Mhm. And then could you also share what your reaction was? Because Kendra was also arrested on separate charges. What was your reaction to that? I feel like that really shocked a lot of the world.
We've never seen any kind of female from this family ever get arrested, and I think that was a huge shock. I think it hurt everyone's heart. We still don't know the extent of why she was arrested and what the charges really are and what that holds.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of speculation, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let law enforcement handle the investigation and handle all that. But I will tell you that. My heart goes out to their kids.
Hmm. Hmm. And there also have been reports Kendra is reportedly preparing to run Joseph's business. She reportedly rented out her own home in order to secure his $600,000 bond. Do you think she's going to stand by Joseph through all of this?
I will just say that in closed family systems like this, it is a sin to divorce, no matter what it is. And so I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I don't think she will divorce him, just like Anna has not divorced Josh. I think it's a pattern where they are going to stand by their man no matter what. And I wish that wasn't going to be the outcome.
Your mom issued a statement saying she thinks that Kendra should break up with him. Do you agree with your mom? It sounds like you do based on what you just shared.
My mom and I are a team. Not only just my roommate, but also one of my closest best friends. The way we grew up is she protected me, and I want Kendra to protect her kids. And I 100% agree with my mom. I think she was very strong for speaking out. And I think that there is so much more to the story that we just don't know yet.
Hmm. Hmm. And you spoke out on social media about the call that they had between Kendra and Joseph. Why was that something that you wanted to speak out on?
I just, like everyone else, hearing these jail calls, and I am shocked and disgusted by the things, just how Joseph dismisses Kendra, in my opinion. He only talks really about himself. There's a lot of things that I'm like, wait, what kind of marriage, what kind of relationship is this? And that's just my own personal opinion, but it seems there's a lot of questions about what has happened between them and what is going to take place now.
Now, you seem pretty shocked by all of this, as you mentioned. Do you think anyone in the family could have seen all of this coming? I feel like a lot of the public was also shocked by all this news.
Yeah, I think everyone was shocked. I don't know who knew of the incidents before they happened or what has happened in the past, but I do know that they have minimized crimes before and try to sweep it under the rug and act like nothing exists or it's not that bad and all of that. I think they're trying to soften the blow. But I think that, like I said, I think it's a question mark right now and more will come out.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, there's also been news that Jim Bob and Michelle are, quote, heartbroken for Joseph. Their statement continues saying, quote, right now they are focused on loving their family and helping Kendra and her children during this difficult time. They are praying for the victim. What do you make of their reaction to the situation?
I don't really pay too much attention to it, honestly. I don't think I don't understand as a parent how you can support and love a pedophile if that is the case. That allegedly that is what is being sentenced. I don't think I could ever love someone that hurts a child. And my heart goes out to the actual victim of Joe, and hopefully there's not many more.
Mhm. And I also know that you've spoken about that you have a closer relationship with Jill. Jill and Derek, they've also spoken out about this. Have you been in contact with them or anyone else in the family since this news broke?
Yes, I have reached out to Jill. We have shared a lot with each other. I have reached out to the Caldwells, Kendra's parents as well. Um, yeah, I think it's just a really, really sad, disappointing, disgusting situation. And like I said, I think more will come to light.
Yeah. And we all know what happened in the past with Josh. Do you think there's a reckoning within the family as a whole now that there could be allegedly maybe a pattern? Like this seems like strange that it happened more than once, allegedly.
Right. I do believe that it's not just one isolated incident anymore. And now it's a second brother that is experiencing and hurting a child and, doing despicable things, heinous crimes. And I do believe that there's a pattern. I do believe that it needs to be broken in our family. I do believe that there's a generational trauma that's never been healed from, and I bring it up in my book. I brought it up in Holy Disruptor that I really believe that it stems from my grandpa, and even before that, my grandpa's grandpa, and it's gone down this line. And I hate that it has taken power on that side of the family, but I will just say that the cycle has broke over here on my side, and I am just praying for the victim and praying for justice. And I think honestly, Florida is going to throw the book at him.
That leads into my next question. I know that we talked about your book in the past, and I really commend you for having the strength to speak out on these types of topics. And it seems like you really found your voice in these types of dark situations. How have you found the strength to continue sharing and speaking out about these types of things?
Well, thank you for saying that. It is really hard. You can't see, but I'm like holding my hands very hard right now because these are really tough situations to talk about.
Mhm.
Um, I will use my voice for good. I I want to help as many people as possible. So if this conversation with you, Stephanie, helps one person out there that is listening in and being like, wow, there's some similarities to what's happened to me, or I wish I could have a voice, maybe I could speak up. I want to be that light for someone that's hurting out there, because just because my family was on TV and the spotlight was shown on them and it's showing all this terrible darkness, there's other families that are experiencing the same exact thing, if not worse. And we all have to speak up. We all have to use our voice for good. And I'm not going to stop.
hmm And has your faith been something that's helped you throughout the times like this, being able to speak up and be an advocate for people who maybe are too scared to speak up for themselves?
Yeah, no, my faith has gotten me through so much, and it's true faith. It's actually walking the walk and talking the talk, and my actions and my words line up. And I think in this family and a lot of toxic, family cycles, the words and actions don't line up, and that's what you have to look at. And as you know, it's so terrible because they have been known for hiding, lying, and minimizing the situation, and I'm just not going to do that.
hmm And what advice would you give to others who are maybe similar to you, like trying to break out of a toxic cycle within a family structure or a religious structure like this?
I think you just have to take one step at a time. Go to counseling, go to actual counseling. The IBLP does not want anyone to speak to anyone outside of their closed system because it exposes what's going on. And so I think the first thing I would tell them is run to a counselor, talk to them about the things that you've seen, what you don't understand, and start questioning what you've been taught. I think that's what I had to do, is I had to look at all of these things of why everything was the way it was. And I realized that it was completely about control and self-image and money, and it had nothing to do with actual character of a person.
Mhm, mhm. Well, I do think that you being an advocate and speaking out has helped so many people, especially with your book. I've read a lot of the online reactions of people who've read this book and really felt seen through your words. What has it meant for you seeing those types of reactions to sharing about such difficult topics?
Honestly, when I wrote this, I was talking to my editor and I literally said, I don't know if anyone's going to actually read this book. I've never really felt seen at all. I've never felt like that I was very understood. I always felt misunderstood, honestly. And so when this book came out and I had so many emails and my inbox is full of just loving and support and encouragement, I feel seen. And so I feel like I'm not alone in this, and I wasn't crazy, and I wasn't the black sheep after all. And I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to really share my story, and I hope it helps others.
Mhm. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today. I know this is a very heavy topic, a very hard thing to speak out on. So I'm really grateful that you took the time to speak with me. And I feel like you having a voice for people who maybe are too scared to speak out is really helpful for them in these types of situations. So I really do thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm trying to do the best that I can to support them and just say like it's okay to speak out. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, you're going to expose lies and expose crimes and it's worth it.